I enjoy to a reasonable extent that like group of girls that I hang out with. Like, I don't actually mind being around them, so that's why. But they would, it's unlikely that they would want to be around me if it wasn't for the, you know, viewership I have.
You who dehumanize men and women alike, especially women, you attract women who feel the same way about people as you do, and you're shocked by that.
And it's because I'm fucking new to the game that I keep falling for the same.
In his mind, he's the most attractive he's ever been, but he didn't fix what was going on within him. He never addressed it.
Having money is not going to attract a high quality woman to you. It's actually going to most likely attract a lower quality woman.
Y'all want to know what's really funny? What's really funny is I keep watching these like little clips of Clavicular, which because I can't sit up and watch like a whole live stream of any of these dudes, even dudes that I like, I guess, or dudes that I wouldn't necessarily mind, like I Show Speed or any of like I can't really sit up and watch a streamer stream for a long time. Personally, no shade to them, but that's my ADHD. But well, shade to Clavicular because I don't like clavicular at all. But even with my disdain and distaste for him, because he's racist and misogynistic, whatever. Even with all that being said, I do find I keep seeing these like glimpses into his humanity that is clearly there. Like he does have some humanity within him, and it could be an act, but I don't think it is because it's so consistent that I don't think it's an act. And it really doesn't, to me, it doesn't necessarily like benefit him to say the things that he's saying, right? I don't know if it hurts his brand per se, but it definitely doesn't help him. So when I listen to him talk about his meteoric rise and his relationships with women and so on and so forth, you can clearly hear in so many ways him describing things that rational human beings that have experienced more life than him and had like a more like general arc, I guess. You know what I'm saying, when it came to like dealing with the opposite sex, for men specifically, we don't think like this about women. A lot of us, a, a good amount of men know, and yeah, a good amount of men know that like you don't need money to find a woman. You don't need to be your most attractive to find a woman. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to be in that place. You might need that to attract in your mind. No, to attract a certain type of woman, you may need to be those things though. And that's what people like Clavicular and all of those like Mogger, looks maxer, femboy lover, like, whatever. Like those dudes, they don't say that part of it. They always leave out that part of the equation. It's like they always make it seem like you can't get any woman just being who you are. But in reality, you can't get the women that attract the attention of other men. You can't get the attention, or you can't get the women that attract the attention of other men. Right? And I'm not saying like nobody likes like these other women, but I'm saying like to the same extent or the same degree as the attention seeking women. There are a bunch of attention seeking women that want the attention of every man around them and any man they can get. Yes, absolutely. Those women exist for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Right? You want those women. To get those women, you have to have a certain type of appeal or bait or attraction or whatever you want to say. The problem that I have is, though, you project that and you apply that to all women or women in general. You act as if every woman or most women are like these OF models that you guys want to surround yourself with once you start streaming and whatnot. But if you listen to Clavicular, even he knows, or he's starting to pick up on the fact that that's not the case. Like it seems like he knows he has gotten it at least somewhat wrong. But I think he's in too deep at this point. Now, again, I'm not a fan of this guy. I'm not a fan of him. I think he's deplorable, to be honest with you. I think he's despicable. Um, so all the sad music, the melancholy vibes or whatever, like I don't give a fuck. I don't feel bad for him at all. I don't feel bad for him at all. I don't. I'm not one of those people. I do have empathy for people in general, but I don't have empathy for everybody, and he's one of them. He doesn't deserve my empathy. But with that being said, listen to what he is saying.
And it's like, here's my thing about that is I enjoy to a reasonable extent that like group of girls that I hang out with. Like, I don't actually mind being around them, so that's why. But they would, it's unlikely that they would want to be around me if it wasn't for the fucking, viewership I had. God forbid I asked them to hang out off stream. Oh, dude, like, not a fucking chance. So I'm just a jester.
Oh, okay. So you mean to tell me you built up a platform so you can attract a certain type of woman, right? The women who are very attention seeking, very, very attention seeking, and they're doing it for money. They're professionals, to be honest with you. I don't even blame them. A lot of them are professionals or want to be, right? But you built up a platform. You attracted those to attract those types of women. You attracted those types of women. You got exactly what you wanted, and you're starting to realize that these women actually don't treat you like a human being. You who dehumanize men and women alike, especially women, you who have lost pretty much all of your humanity, stripped it all away, suppress it, right? Objectify women, objectify men. You attract women who feel the same way about people as you do, and you're shocked by that. You're shocked by it. You're utterly shocked by it. Wow, you got rich and famous. You attracted women and you attracted women and men, and I'm sure there's a bunch of men around you who would never be your friend in real life. Who would never be your friend in real life. They're only with you for your platform, but you're not talking about them right now. You're talking about the women. That's fine. You got these women, and now you're realizing that they don't really like you for you, and you're sad about it. Boo fucking who? Boo fucking who?
Leave me alone for now. How they have no remorse over blatantly taking advantage of me. And it's because I'm fucking new to the game that I keep falling for the same bullshit. Use the bathroom real quick, boys.
It's not because you're new to the game. You put yourself in this position. It's not because you're new to the game. This is the game. This is the game you signed up to play. This is the game you signed up to play. So it's not because you're new to the game. You're crying because you're new to the game. The way they're treating you, they treat all the men like that, old or new. That's not what it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is.
I can't do this. She manipulated me. I keep falling for it. I can't do this. Fucking bitches just want to fucking take advantage of me because I don't understand. I don't understand the world. I just do all this shit. They take advantage of me and they don't give a fuck. None of these.
They don't understand me, or I don't understand the world or whatever. Yeah, because you've been living your world locked in a box. You've been living vicariously through red pill men that have been peddling a bunch of nonsense to you, telling you if you want to get these women, you got to level up, you got to go to the gym, you got to work on your exterior and not work on your interior. But like I said, there are men out here that understand you could be fat, you could be short, you could be tall, you could be skinny, you could be broke, you could be what, it doesn't matter. But you can have access to women, you can be in community with women. You just gotta have a certain, you need to have a certain level of appeal. You need to have a personality. I know that. I met my wife when I was dirt poor. The majority of I never had money before when I was in my 20s. Like, I never had any significant amount of money. I had money to take women out on dates sometimes. I had enough money to maybe buy women some presents sometimes, but I didn't have any like real money. I didn't have like any real money, you know. I got my first apartment when I was like 23. I got my first car, well, my first like decent, nice car when I was 23. I was just stepping into my own. Like I didn't have any money. Before that though, women like me, girls like me when I was in high school, all the things. And it was because I had a personality. I was funny, I was charismatic, whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? Like I showed up enough that I attracted women, and women genuinely cared about me. Genuinely, I had women that really cared about me. Again, I met my wife when I was broke. She genuinely cared about me. She loved me. Relationship grew, blah, 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 all the things. He's young, right? I get it now at 44. I could still find a woman if I needed to. If I, if I was got divorced and I was broke or whatever, yes, I could find a woman that liked me for me and all. Yes, I'm sure. But generally speaking, though, especially when you're younger, them women, them girls ain't tripping. You ain't gotta have no money. You ain't gotta be this. You ain't gotta be. You just gotta be nice. You gotta be cool. You gotta be funny. You gotta be smart. You gotta be witty. Like you have to have something about you. And men have. A man like me, I've been telling these men this shit forever, not just on the internet. I tell men that all the time because I had homies that be like, man, you don't understand public. You don't understand what I go through. You're not ugly. You're not short. You're not like they always make an excuse. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just like, I'm funnier than you. Like straight up. Like, I'm like, yeah, you're just not that funny. You act weird when you get around women. You act because you like act like you resent them and like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, that's why they don't like you, bro. They can smell it on you. They can smell the desperation on you. It's all like you have to, you gotta like women. You gotta like to be around them. Yeah, or most of the men be masking, by the way. Even the ones that like act like men act like they like women all the time. They're masking, but like that's what the women are attracted to, though. Like they like when they think men like to be around them. I don't know how else to say it. You know what I mean? Because again, I know men be masking all the time. Like they don't want to be around the women. They just want to sleep with the women. Cool. I totally understand that. That's for the vast majority of men. But no matter what, I'm just pointing out the thing that the women are attracted to. That women are attracted to. Like they like that type of shit. A person like Clavicular, he has never wanted to be around women in that way. He's always wanted to use women as a way to ingratiate himself with other men. And that's where a lot of men and boys go wrong. They want to use women as a way to make them to regain their masculinity, and not through building strong relationships with women, which is a way to me to regain your masculinity. No, not like that. They want to regain their masculinity by using women, by manipulating women, by having a pretty woman on his arm, and all the men go, ooh, look at what, like, that's how they want the women. He got rich, he got popular just so he can do that. He's doing that, and now he's reaping what he sowed. Like, get over it. Believe me, listen to his own words. He's telling y'all who he is. But y'all, the thing about red pillars is you guys have no integrity. That's why y'all fall for this stupid shit all the time. But why would you ever listen to this man? He's a fucking geek. He's a troll. He's like, he should be in a dark room, fucking going on fucking 4chan shit. Like, he's a weirdo, bro. Like, for real. Like, I'm not even playing.
I was never supposed to be this like fucking, alpha male, military, Jocko Willing type of guy who's like, let's push up testosterone, all this shit. The other day, I was thinking about the fact that basically all these girls, these OnlyFans girls, just want to be around for like, my status, for my viewership, for my money, and they wouldn't want to hang out off camera or if I didn't have any of that.
Because he's a nerd, because he doesn't have a personality. He did all of this. Look at him now, right? He did all of this. He's in his mind, he's the most attractive he's ever been, but he didn't fix what was going on within him. He never addressed it. That's why the Kevin Samuels model, that's why the Andrew Tate model, that's why the Clavicular model doesn't work. I've been telling y'all this whole time, you gotta work, bro. If you work on the person within, you will become more attractive externally. If you work on the internal, you will become more attractive externally. Women, I know that from women. Like women tell me that all the time. That's a thing. I see it all the time. I see women gravitating towards men that think, oh, he got something about him. Oh, he's a nice guy. He's a genuine guy. He's a sweet guy. He's a humble guy. They like that shit. Damn, listen to him.
Have any of that. And, you know, I was getting pretty sad on camera. You know, I was crying a little bit about it.
You did this on camera?
Yeah.
Really?
And the thing is, it's like, I can show vulnerable moments.
And then academics is like the worst person to talk to because he just like Clavicular. He only gets women because of his platform. He only gets women because of his platform. I remember there's this clip in Spider-Man, or no, it's not in Spider-Man. It's in Avengers Civil War, right? Tony Stark goes and meets Spider-Man for the first time. And in talking to Spider-Man, talking to Peter Parker, Peter Parker says, like, he was talking about how he got these powers. And he said, I didn't play football before, so I feel like why would I start playing it now that I have these powers? You know what I mean? Now that I have these powers, why would I go and start playing football and you know, whatever, and use them to, you know, to further, to, you know, whatever, to grow my repertoire or my image or whatever the case may be. He was like, why would I do that? Like that was deep. That's what these men don't understand. If you weren't shit without your platform, you're not gonna be shit with your platform. The platform is only gonna mask it, but so far, but for so long. Especially once people start to have interactions with you interpersonally, they're gonna pick up on it. This is what y'all need to hear. This is what y'all need to listen to.
Having money is not going to attract a high quality woman to you. It's actually going to most likely attract a lower quality woman. Fellas, let me put y'all.
Say it again, sir. Say it again.
Having money is not going to attract a high quality woman to you. It's actually going to most likely attract a lower quality woman. Fellas,
listen, the likelihood that you are going to attract a lower quality woman, a woman that's just trying to use you for your status or your money or whatever, is exponentially higher if you actually have money and status, right? Duh. No fucking brainer. So if you don't have nothing and a woman likes you, more than likely, like 99.9% of the time, she likes you for you, right? Why else would she be with you? That's the thing that I hate when men be like, these women just want free meals and these women just, and I'm sitting there going, bro, if women were who you say they were, we never would have had a shot. Men would never have a chance. All the women would be at Drake's house. You know what I'm saying? All the women would be at well, I don't know. You think of I can't even think of it. I don't know. Whatever. Think of a wealthy celebrity guy, right? All the women would be over some wealthy, famous person's house, or they would be over some extremely attractive man's house. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what's going on, though. That's not what's going on. Yeah, and those men do have more women than average, but there are still a shit ton of average women looking for average men.
Having money is not going to attract a high quality woman to you. It's actually going to most likely attract a lower quality woman. Fellas, let me put y'all onto game. I was able to attract my dream girl before I started making good money. And it was because I had the traits that women wanted. I created within myself the traits that women wanted. Let me put y'all onto game. Women want a man who is masculine. They want a man who's confident. They want a man who is physically fit. That's actually a big bonus, even though they don't really realize it. But it's actually a big bonus when you're out with a man, because that leads into protection. She wants to feel that security. When you're out with her and you're physically fit, you know you can handle yourself, then she feels more secure. She feels safer. So a lot of men, you just start hitting the gym. That's like a really easy fix right there. They want a man who's ambitious. They want to.
I think he's going into a little bit of that red pill stuff, talking about, like, you know, being physically fit. They harp on that a lot. But no, I mean, overall, what he's saying, I agree, but that part was stupid.
They want a man who's ambitious. They want to see that you are on your purpose, on your drive. They also want to see a man who is good with people, charismatic, right? They want to see a lot of things outside of just you making money. They want to see that you're a leader. They want to see that you're a protector. There's so many things, right? But money is not the end all be all. If you only have money and you don't have any of those other things that I listed, you're most likely only going to attract the low quality women.
You're only going to attract OF model women, the women that you guys really want, right, on paper, because those women attract other men, and that's what y'all really are trying to do, is get the attention of other men. That's your problem. Stop trying to get the women to get the men. Just get the woman that's best for you.
That only are seeing you for your money, but they don't care about you having the masculine traits that you need to have as a man. And another thing is that you see these athletes and these rich men getting played all the time by women. They have the money, but they're lacking those other things that I'm saying. So having money doesn't just get you the honey, like you said, but there's a lot more to being man. But there's a lot more to being a man and attracting high quality women than just making money. So feel free to.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that sentiment. There's so much more to attracting high quality women than having money. High quality women take money into account. High quality women want an economically viable man, but high quality women aren't overly invested in how much a man makes. You know what I mean? And I'm saying this very carefully because money does matter. And I don't think there's anything wrong with women or anybody caring about how much money or the potential earnings of their partner. I think that is a smart, intelligent thing to take into account. But there's somewhat of a fine line between that and being like, oh, he got money, I'm going with him. I'm going, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever. And the vast majority of women are not thinking like that. Believe it or not. That's not how they get down. And before y'all crash out, how I know is because the average man has had access to the average woman. They're not gold diggers because y'all don't have no fucking gold. That's my proof. But they gave you access to them. Case closed. Problem solved. Be a better person.